What's up, y'all? Hey, you guys. I know it's been a minute since I've been on here for Mindshift Monday, but listen, I have been in a it's been crazy. It's been a lot of things going on with me, but I'm excited that God has put a fire up under me to start doing coming back. So what's up, guys? Hey, y'all. Hey, thank y'all so much for pushing play on this morning. My name is Charrisa T. I am the visionary of I Teach, I Coach LLC, and you are a part of Mind Shift Monday. Mind Shift Monday. And what Mind Shift Monday is basically listen, we come together. I'm dropping some wisdom that God has given me. I'm sharing it with you all. So you guys are literally coming into a conversation with God and I, and He has just given me the a word that I want to kind of share with you guys on today. And so this is Mindshift Monday. Mindshift Monday started as a blog that I would do to my email subscribers. I would just write out some things to them, an encouraging word, and hit send, and it will go to all of the people who were on my email list. Well, earlier this year, God said, "Hey, Charrisa, let's start do some vlogging," and so here I am vlogging Mind Shift Monday. So before we get started, first of all, again, welcome to Mind Shift Monday. And if this is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Take a moment, go ahead and like, share, and tag someone into this experience. I promise you, I'm trying to only do this in 20 minutes. I have my timer here on my phone. I'm trying to do this in only 20 minutes. So if I'm looking to the side, I'm just checking my time, making sure that I get this out in the time that I said that I wanted to do this. Amen. Amen. So this mind shift moment is all about giving up control and trusting God. Giving up control and trusting God. Listen, I have a few moments to share this, but I want to read this to you. This is Proverbs 3, verses 5 through, let's see, I'm gonna go to 12 because that's what I got here. 5 through 12. And this is the message version of the Bible. I love the message. I love the message version. That is one of my favorites. But I'm going to read this to you very quickly, and I'm going to give you what God is telling me in this moment. It says, "Trust God from the bottom of your heart. Do not try to figure out everything on your own. Listen for God's voice in everything you do, everywhere you go. He's the one who will keep you on track. Don't assume that you know it all. Run to God." Everybody say, run to God. Run to God. Run from evil. Your body will glow with health. Your very bones will vibrate with life. Honor God with everything you own. Give him the first and the best. Your barns will burst. Your wine vats will brim over. Don't, dear friend, resent God's discipline. My God, don't suck under his loving correction. It is the child he loves that God corrects. A father's delight is behind all of this. And so I had to read that to you, and I'm gonna give you what God has really been talking to me about this particular verse. First of all, we got to learn how to give up our want to control. Sometimes in life we get into a place where we feel like we have it, we feel like we know the way or we know what to do, and honestly guys, we don't. We do not know what we're doing. Like, I've been in business since 2021, started doing a little bit of this part-time back in 2017. And I'm telling you, there are things that I know today that I didn't know back then. There's things I know today that I didn't know 2 months ago. And so you have to understand that we don't know everything. We need to be a forever student. And who's our teacher? The best teacher we have is God. God is the one who's going to show us how to go, where to go, when to go, where to go, who to go with. He's going to do the plays. But in order for us to understand the play, we got to trust him. Trust means you got to rely on him for everything. You got to go to him and say, God, which way do I need to go? God, who do I need to partner with? God, what is it that you're saying for me to do for today? What is it that I need to work on? Who do I need to contact? Listen, we have to go to God for everything. This is a season and a time, you guys, God has to be at our foundation. If you have a faulty foundation and you're not including God in your life, your business, your ministries, you got to put him back to where he belongs, which is over all of it, right? And so God is saying, listen, trust in me because I got the way for you. Everything is going to work out if you come and you do it the way that I'm telling you to do it. That is a word right there. Everything will work out if you follow the play that he gives you. God is saying, listen, stop trying to figure this out on your own. Stop making moves on your own. Stop trying to do this and trying to do that. And you're wondering why you're born, you stressed out, you broke, you don't have this, you don't have that, because you are sitting here trying to do it your way. And God says, I have a better way. God says, I have a better way. Not only does he say trust, but he says you got to listen. So you got to trust and listen. That means your ear gates, we talked about gates a while back. Your ear gates have to be in tune with God. And so if you are listening to things that is not God, then you need to ask God. Your prayer needs to be, God, help me to hear your voice and your voice alone. Help me to know how you speak to me. You need to be in a season where you know how God speaks to you. How does he speak to you? You got to know his voice to understand how to trust him. If you don't understand his voice or recognize when he's talking to you, because the enemy will talk to you too. Let's get real. The enemy will talk to you too, but you got to recognize his voice, because his voice is the way he says that my sheep recognize my voice and he won't turn to another, right? I'm not quoting that scripture correctly, but his sheep recognize his voice. And so if you don't know if God is talking to you or what he's saying to you, your prayer needs to be, God, open my ears so that I can hear you. Block out every other voice that is not of you. If it's not yours, block it out. That means if someone's talking to me and it ain't God led, I don't want to take it in, because I only need to hear what God is saying to me in this season. Block out every other voice. And I'm telling you now, just because you're praying that prayer, you got to understand the enemy going to up his game. He's going to try to come to you and make you feel like you're not listening to God. I'm telling you. So go ahead and start consecrating yourself and allowing God to talk to you and ask him, how can help me, Lord, hear your voice. It says, listen for God's voice in everything you do, everywhere that you go. So that means when you're out and about, you should be able to hear God. It should never be too noisy. It should never be too noisy that you can't hear God. God just gave me a revelation. It should never be too noisy where you can't hear God. I'm going to give you this quick testimony. I'll never forget, in 2020, May 2020, I was sitting in a conference learning how to teach phonics for kindergartners through second grade. I was at a conference, a virtual conference during COVID, on Zoom, taking notes in a conference, and I heard the voice of God, and I shut that off and I started to get my notebook and write out what he said. Never, ever, ever get in a place that is too noisy that you can't hear God. You and God got to be so tight that you can hear him amongst the noise. Oh my God, who am I talking to today? It says, don't assume that you know it all. Run to God before you run to your friend, before you run to your coach, before you run to your business partner. You need to go to God. Like, God, what are you telling me? God, what are you saying to me? And then after you have consulted with God, then you go to your wise counsel. But go to God first. Gone are the days where you're running to X, Y, and Z for answers and making them an idol. Uh-oh. Gone are the days are you moving away from talking to your friend, your family, your bestie, and you go to God first. Go to God first. I had this experience just the other day. I was talking, God had been giving me something in my spirit, and I wasn't really sure like what he, which way he wanted to go or when he wanted to go. But I was on the phone talking to somebody about something, and it was so ironic that in that moment God was like, okay, share, because he never let me share it with anybody else. Nobody, only two people know what this, God and the other person he just let me release it to. And so when I released it to this individual, she said, this is the second or third time I have heard this. That was confirmation. But I only released it when God told me to. And we have to understand, you guys, you got to run to God first. God is going to give you the instructions. And when you hear him say, do something or say something, then you do what he say. You run to God, then you release it. He says, when you run to me and get away from evil, because running to your friends first, running to your bestie first, that's evil. That's an idol. I don't have time. That's a conversation for another day. But when you run to him first, he says your body will glow with health. Your bones will vibrate with life. When you honor God, you will honor him with everything that you own. Give him the first and the best. Your barns, this is a promise, you guys. When you put God first and when you trust in him, he promises you that he will make your barns burst and your vats brim over. I don't care what's going on in this world. I don't care about all the rumors of wars and all the things that we got going on in this world. If you put God first in everything that you do, he got you. You need to speak over that. God has me covered. I'm covered through this election. I'm covered through the wars and the rumors of wars. I'm covered from the famine. I'm covered from all of this because I trust God, my God, on today. I trust God. And then it goes down and it talks about discipline and correction. And it talks about God's discipline and how sometimes he has to shake up the tables in our lives to get us on the right path. And we don't like for God to give us, we don't want, listen, I done had many whippings from God. And you don't want, those whippings hurt, but they're also life lessons and we run away from it, right? But sometimes God has to shake up the tables in our lives, and it's not always the enemy. God corrects us so that we can get corrected. I hear course correction, my God, to the destiny that he has for us. So sometimes he has to shake the tables a little bit. He has to put us in certain situations so we can wake up and realize, hey, this is not the way to do it. You need to do it with God. And so I'm just coming on here to remind somebody to trust in God with everything. When you put God first and stop allowing to stop putting people and making them idols, because whether you know it or not, if you put anything before God, it's an idol. And God will shake up that relationship. He will shake up that thing. He will shake, I'm a living witness. He will shake it up and he will say, no, 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 no. You're going to stop talking to them. You're going to stop running to them first. You're going to get on your face and you're going to come to me. And so I implore you guys on today for this shift that you realize that God is the way. You and God are the majority. And when you put him first in everything, when you trust him with your whole heart, when you go with him first, when you go to him first, I promise you, he will come through for you. I don't care what's going on, but if you keep him first, if you're asking God for questions and he has not answered them, keep asking and wait on God. Don't move until he tells you to. Let me go back. Remember, I told you I was asking God some things, and then I just all of a sudden brought that up to my when I was in a conversation earlier this week. I had been asking God this since the summer, since I know every bit of July and August, because that's when I remember God giving me what he gave me. And I had been going to him August, September, It's what? November now, October. And just a few days ago, the end of October, coming into November, God put me in a situation where I was able to release something that God had been sharing with me for it to only be confirmation on this was what I needed to move on. But had I not put him first and allowed do the back work with him, because see, sometimes we think we ask God for things and he's going to immediately answer. It doesn't always work like that. You have he sometimes he gives you he it takes time. He's a back around moving plays for you to make sure that the moment is set up so when your moment and when your time comes, you don't have to second guess that was God. It's time out for us second guessing when God is talking to us. It's time out for us second guessing his voice and the other person's voice. You need to develop a relationship with God. We need to develop a relationship with God where we know his voice and we can recognize his voice in everything. Listen, this is your Mindshift Monday for today. I pray that this has been a blessing to you. Listen, I'm just so grateful and honored for the things that God is doing in and through my life, man. So many things that are, doing. There's some good things and there are some things that I'm working through. Everything is not peachy cream. I need you to understand that everything is not peachy cream for your girl. Like I go through things as well. I may handle them a little bit differently, but your girl go through some stuff, okay? And please understand and know your girl goes through some stuff, probably more than a lot of you probably think. But God has been so faithful. God has been so gracious that he has allowed me to go through some things with his grace. And when he releases me to talk about certain things is when I move. I don't talk about them until he tells me. That's just it. That's just how it's going to be. Listen, before I leave, I want you guys to head over to my website, www.charrisat.org. I have two things that is happening on Friday at 6:30. You can join my Black Friday, Blessed Friday watch party where we will come together and we will watch or rewatch a masterclass that I did about Black Friday. If you have a business, a ministry, or a product that you're trying to release, you're trying to get some momentum about it, you want to go ahead and make it, make some awareness about what you're getting ready to release, head over to my website. Also, I put it in the description below. Go ahead and start signing up for Friday's masterclass. And here's the thing, even if you missed it, you will get the replay. Even if you missed it, you will get the replay. Next, on December the 14th, my last and final event as of right now, I will be a part of the Repurpose Ministries Stretch Conference. Has this been a year of the stretch for you? I know it has been for me in so many areas of my life. And so I'm excited to be a part of the panel there. You can find more information about Pastor Michelle Evans and the Repurpose Stretch Conference that's happening on December the 14th. And so you need to be in the building. So head on over to www.charrisat.org for more information about what I have going on and any upcoming events that I'm a part of. Also, if you feel like you want to sow a seed today, I'm learning how to I've never been a person to ask for certain things, but God has been sharing with me, hey, yes, do this. So if you feel like you want to sow a seed into this word, into this ministry, into what God is doing in my life, listen, you can sow that seed directly to me at Cash App Charrisa T. That's Cash App Charrisa T, $ Charrisa T. Also, I can also put another way that you can donate to this ministry, to what God is doing in me in the link below. So again, God bless you. God keep you is my prayer. Listen, run to God and trust that he has the way for you. I am Charrisa T, visionary of I Teach, I Coach LLC, where I get the awesome opportunity to educate, empower, equip, and encourage you guys to walk into your God-given destiny. Until next time, Peace out and have an amazing rest of your week. Crush this week on purpose. Do what God is calling you to do. It is time. It is your season. It is your moment. Shine. I don't care what is happening in your life. Keep flowing with God. God bless you guys. Have an amazing day.